So it just goes to show you, you can do a bunch of cool stuff in your life. You can go skydiving, you can work as a firefighter, you can go to law school for a little bit, but put on a chicken costume one time. That's pretty much what you're known for. Thank you. My name is Olejak, and I'm a career specialist. It's good to see all of you, by the way. I've been here for about 3 months, and I'm thinking more and more about that chicken. You see, when I was about 15 years old and growing up in New Jersey, I worked for a very cleverly named chicken restaurant called Cluck You Chicken. I should say it was officially called Cluck University Chicken, but when we answered the phone, it was Cluck You Pick Up Delivery. Now, bunch of arguments, we got the word out. So, dressing up as the chicken was my first sort of W-2 generating position. And I should also say that I was kind of a horrible gymnast. So, I'd put the costume on, I'd go out onto the side of the road and tumble back and forth and try to draw people in, right? Now, first off, raise your hand if you've ever seen the reality show The Jersey Shore. Okay, now if you didn't raise your hand, I'm going to assume you're a liar, but it's an older show, so I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. That's fine. But the purpose of bringing that up is the value of that show was essentially it gave an idea of how raucous the Jersey Shore could be. And the reason I'm bringing up the rowdiness is because I had an unfortunate geographical coincidence. And that coincidence was being a kid dressed as a chicken, tumbling back and forth on a roadway that happened to connect the Jersey Shore with one of New Jersey's busiest highways, which is the Garden State Parkway. So you'd think people would be on their way back from the beach, and they would see me, and they'd think to themselves like, hey, I could use a buffalo wing. Thanks a lot, chicken. You'd be kind of correct. For the most part, people saw me and said, bet I could throw something and hit that chicken. So on the frequent occurrences that I would be struck by a projectile, traveling at approximately 50 miles an hour, plus whatever the arm strength the individual who threw it could produce, I would go inside of the store and tend to my wounds and tell my manager. He would always say the same 3 things. I just remember still to this day. He would say, "Are you bleeding?" I'd say no, because the outfit, didn't even cut through anything. He would say, "Is what they threw worth any money?" Typically it's an empty bread bottle, so no, maybe 5 cents in Maine, but finally he would say, "Well, get back out there." But later on in my life, if I was going through something difficult, I would think about that chicken. I served in the Army during the relative peacetime of the late 90s, so really the toughest thing I had to go through was basic training, but if I was going through something, I'd remember, think about the chicken. And later on when I was working as a firefighter, I'd go to all kinds of different calls. I'd remember the chicken and it would serve to calm me to a certain extent. Even when I was getting cold feet before getting ready to get married to my now lovely wife of 3 years, or even trying to finish school and work at the same time when I was 33, which was just a few years ago. Even getting to law school and then going to law school for a bit of time. Just remember that kid in the chicken suit. And the philosophy that eventually came out of all this was, no matter what's thrown at me, I just need to get back out there. So, anyone tries to tell me otherwise or give me some negativity, anything like that, I just smile and think to myself, "Cluck you."